Welcome to the Witty Bitties of Nevada. And we have a guest, Alan. He has been doing restoring on the Tonopah Old Cemetery and the Goldfield Old Cemetery. And he's going to take us around the cemetery and give us a bunch of historical facts and some interesting information. So
Absolutely.
thank you, Alan, for being with us.
You can tell by those pictures, it was in pretty bad. 46 years ago, my two brothers and I, interested in history of our lives, formed a historical society here in Tonopah, in Goldfield, Tonopah, basically. And as a to show we would do something as a historical society, we began restoration of the old cemetery. And we did what we could. It hadn't been used since 1911 and pretty bad shape, vandalism and just weather itself. So we did what we could and came to a standstill after 3 years of restoration. And lo and behold, a plot map, which I have in that folder showing all the grave sites with names, was found in a house in Round Mountain, Nevada, a nearby mining camp. And how it got there, we don't know, but it was donated to our historical society. So we had names to go with all the graves. So with that information, over the years, we're made plaques, looked up information, where they came from, what they did, what did them in. And that's how we were able to pinpoint each and every grave. That I made the plaques myself, along with help from the conservation camp before they shut it down. The inmates were really good helpers, but well, evolved into this.
Oh.
Wonderful. Well, take us down, sure.
Anyway, it gives a little information about how our involvement in it to bring it back to life, so to speak. And we do have several veterans here, Civil War veterans.
Oh, wow.
A handful anyway. And I'll point out those graves as we tour it through. And wonder how Civil War veterans wound up in Tonopah way back in the early years. They must have heard the streets were paved with silver here. And I wonder the same thing in the Goldfield Cemetery on my research. In Goldfield, the Civil War veterans and many others must have heard the streets were paved with gold over there. So with that said, we'll
Head on in.
head on in. I'll demonstrate the dowsing here for the graves, which was a big help in locating the exact positions. Years ago, my two brothers and I, our dad showed us how to dowse for underground pipelines and electrical cables. So just out of curiosity, I tried it here before we obtained that plot map. And as I walked on up here, there was nothing but level ground, and these would cross and straighten out and cross and straighten out. And I put a rock at each spot. And when we obtained that map, sure enough, there's graves at each one of the spots.
Wow, that's
Wow.
amazing.
I'll demonstrate right now with that dowsing. Okay, this is just wire I found in my backyard and cut, and the ends are bent down like that so nobody walks into them when someone's dowsing. Walk over a grave, across. Okay. Come to the grave, then cross again. Straighten out between the graves. Go for the next grave. Across.
Wow. And some people only thought dowsing rods were good for water.
Yes. So when after the tour, if you want to try it, that works for most people. It worked for my granddaughter when she was 7 or 8, and my daughter when she was that same age. And for most of the people, it does. For some, it doesn't.
Yeah. Well, we did get some to work for us last night. We did the tour of the Mezpa hotels, so they worked for both of us.
Oh, okay, the dowsing, yes. And
Yeah.
uh, our employee on duty at the museum today, she worked at the Mispa Hotel, and she had some very interesting experiences in the basement of the Mispa and
Ooh.
other rooms in that Mispa. But when we get to the museum, you can you can ask her about that.
Absolutely, we'd be
Oh,
happy
yeah.
to.
Very interesting. Well, we will walk on down.
We will follow you.
Veteran, one of the several veterans, but on the plaque I put what information we could find uh, on them, and we have one lady that's helping now with the location and the information on them, and she's doing a very thorough job for the veterans' graves and
So,
all the others.
so this veteran was Benjamin Greer Gadden from the Civil War, 13th New York Heavy Artillery, died October 23rd, 1904, heart failure. Wow, that's some great investigation.
Yes, uh, it is with that information available. You'll see
Yeah.
who's late this morning. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yes.
Definitely.
Oh gosh, almost a year ago, we had hail, rain, and snow daily for 2 weeks at least, and all that moisture saturated the soil over the grave sites, and then the grave sites collapsed in, filling the voids where the coffins were, the wooden coffins.
Oh,
Were long gone before that. And coming down here the day or two after that, it looked almost like somebody climbed out of these graves. And when it was still caved in before we, with volunteers and all, refilled them, and fixed them up again, it, well, looks like whoever was in there climbed on out. And I'd ask a few people, if you seen somebody that looked dead hitchhiking out of town, this is where they came from.
yeah, return them. So most of the, I'm going to ask a really morbid question here. So most of the coffins that you had unearthed, they were all wooden, pine, or
Fine.
pine?
And they rotted away many years ago.
Right.
And along with the Goldfield Cemetery, the same issue. We had all that moisture.
Yeah.
Caves, just
Just
graves caving
collapsed.
in.
Wow. You don't ever think about that when you're being laid to rest, that in several years, everything's going to collapse and cave in.
That's right.
Well, it could have been traumatic for a miner that was, died in the mine. Then they found and brought him here or put a grave marker or something for him. And then he collapsed again.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Haunted cemetery then.
And I might have mentioned these wooden fences are all original ones, and pipe fences like you see around those graves, they're all original. Over by the flag, you see a lot of really ornate metal ones there, and wood ones too, but those are original ones as well.
Oh,
And the reason they only used this cemetery up till 1911 is that the Tonopah Extension Mining Company, one of the big companies here in Tonopah, when they're processing silver, their tailings after they got the silver out of the rock was flowing down. The mill was only up here a block or two. The tailings were coming down, covering up these grave sites.
Oh, wow.
And that didn't set too well with the locals. So, of
Yeah.
course, the mining company donated land down below town, a half a mile where the present day cemetery is.
Okay. I was curious about that because when we pulled up, I'm like, this is it? Tonopah's, there's got to be more people buried here. And then, of course, I saw the sign and I'm like, okay, that makes perfect
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, you do. Well, looks like, geez, all of a sudden everybody quit dying in Tonopah.
Yeah.
right. Everybody lived after 1911.
There is well over 300 grave sites here.
Oh,
and
wow.
a lot of unknowns too, because like mining camps in most places, you had a lot of transient population coming in. A lot of them passed away here, and with no identification, no nothing about it. Dig grave, put them in.
Makes
And
sense.
then in 1914, the Belmont Mine, one of the big mining companies here, they had a fire down in the shaft, down a little bit over 1,100 feet underground. And even though in the morning shift came on, a little bit of smoke was coming out of the shaft. The shift boss for the morning had the crew walk over to a nearby shaft, the Desert Queen, and lowered them down there and with the 1,100-foot level and went through tunnels over to the Belmont shaft, and they all died.
Oh, wow.
17 of them did, and 14 of them are buried here at the cemetery. The other 3 were shipped out.
Wow.
So
So
while we're close to here, I'll show you what the hero of the Belmont mine fire. Big deal. Oh, here he is. Yeah.
Go ahead.
He died while others, but he did save several miners by having the hoist engineer lowering him down in the shaft. And going by the old court transcripts and the documents concerning that tragedy, uh, well, he chose to go down. He had the hoist engineer at the mine says, lower me down and see who I can save, if any at all. He saved several men out of there. He'd ring the bell, the hoist engineer to hoist him out with each one he saved. And the last one, before they lowered him down in the shaft, he said, I'm all in, but I'm going to go down one more time and hopefully bring up one of the miners. And they lowered him down, and according to the court transcripts, uh, 10 minutes later he rang the bell from down in the shaft, pulled the cord, so the bell rang up in the hoist house, and they went and started lifting him out one more time. And halfway up, there's kind of a jerk in the cable, so pulling him the mine cage out they were riding in, and then it cleared up. And it got to the surface. Nobody was in it. They found the remains of him and that last one he saved or tried to save in the sump of the shaft.
Oh, wow.
But he was quite a hero for all the men that he did save.
and
That's
on there it
amazing.
says February 13th. It's 1911. It looks like
1911.
yeah.
That story in itself. He was killed in the Belmont mine fire. And let's see, is this it? Belmont mine fire. And his wife given birth to the daughter shortly after that. And the daughter passed away too. So
Oh,
wow.
baby girl.
One day later.
that was a double
Wow.
tragedy.
Absolutely. These poor women as well at the time.
And
This is somebody, I
war,
was going to say somebody with a little bit of money to help them get a nice burial.
yes, really. Recently some volunteers placed the concrete
Oh,
over the
wow.
top of it.
Okay.
It was beginning to collapse as well.
Wow. 45
Wow.
regiment. Wow. It's amazing. 1843 is when he was born.
Victim of the Belmont mine fire.
38. That's really young.
Yeah.
Wow.
The day of the funeral, it was blizzard conditions down here. And the they had a crew down here keeping the snow shoveled out of the graves that were dug for the victims of the Belmont mine fire. So that added to the sadness of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And at the museum, we do have photos of the funeral procession going down Main Street in, well, like I say, blizzard conditions.
Right.
Wow.
Maybe that's right.
Oh, wow. Cave in at the Liberty Mine.
Yeah, the
Wow.
Liberty Mine was out here, about 22 miles out. And, well, most of the mines had victims.
Right.
Yeah.
Walter, he no doubt had a wealthy family that had this marker made and installed.
Wow. Only 21 years old.
Wow.
Tonopah, too, like most mining camps, had plagues, cholera, pneumonia, diphtheria, and years later, what they came up with the pneumonia plague was unsanitary conditions uh, due to people in the morning dumping their chamber pot out behind their house or their outdoor uh, toilets, outhouses too close to the house, and all uh,
So,
the cause of pneumonia.
Oh, wow. Didn't know that.
Or that's at least what they came up with back
Yeah.
then. Like I say, they came from all over.
Catch that silver and gold.
Gold fever and silver fever.
Yes.
and then that's the original grave marking that's there on the ground,
This
right?
was the original one.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, and back when we took these pictures way back, it was fully intact, and I still kick myself for us not preserving that itself, so putting it in a protective frame for some type.
Right.
But, well,
But at least it's nice that you still have it.
oh, it is, yes.
Yeah.
On
Oh,
Barber,
nice take.
and during the epidemic, it was said in the obituary and all, and news articles from that era, that he died of fright. And what I could only come up with, and then a few other added articles pertaining to his death, is on some of the plague victims, you'd shave them and make them look good for a funeral when the family wanted a funeral. And after a few of those, he died. And it was said he died of fright.
Oh, wow.
Now, here was basically the baby section on over from the flagpole down to the right.
Holy
And
smokes.
it kind of questionable why, I wonder myself anyway, throughout the cemetery, I'll have a baby here, a baby there, all over up in there. And but the majority of them right in down here in this one area. Uh, in fact, there was kind of no rhyme or reason to me why they did have a baby section, but all the babies weren't in the baby section. And one sad one that I made a nice marker on and all was the little baby girl, a few months old. She swallowed the pacifier, her pacifier.
Oh my goodness.
Wouldn't have thought that they had pacifiers back then.
I wondered about that myself. And
Wow.
because I thought that was kind of a
Unusual.
yes for back then.
Yeah. That's one thing you don't hear about. You hear about the fever, plague, flu, but a pacifier, that's the first one I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's what the death record said.
Wow.
And the information I obtained down at the county courthouse, and then the research lady, that's a good source. But now with all that information on the internet and even more, you can answer a lot of questions.
Right.
Except why was she having to have pacifier to that age?
Right.
And
And what did they make it out of?
even had pacifier.
Yeah.
Oh, this is an interesting one. I felt sorry for her.
Oh, suicide.
Nope, she was murdered, and then whoever killed her committed
Oh.
suicide.
It's fine.
Anna Watson murdered by R.D. Chase, who then committed suicide. So crime of passion.
Yes, that was the obituaries that
Wow.
cause and all. And there's several young ladies came to the mining camp here, different ages and all, and keep meals on the table and all, and they went into prostitution and several suicides and all. And what I put on their markers, which were up in a different section, most of them, is life became a burden because I do feel sorry for them. You know, they came from the cities to this new mining camp and either had to survive or some got tangled up with the wrong men.
Yeah,
So life became a burden.
absolutely. Absolutely. What a beautiful way to say it, too.
This was a gruesome death.
Let's see.
Can you read that, Sherry?
I'm trying. Died May 31st, 1905. David W. Gilson got caught in pumping machinery at Tonopah Water Company Rye Patch plant. Native of Scotland.
It's
Wow.
pretty sad, but we actually have those old original pumps up at the museum now. That Rye Patch was out east of here, probably approximately 21 miles, and that's where Tonopah still gets his drinking water pumped in.
It's out of Rye
Oh.
Patch.
But
Wow.
and
No matter why it goes dry all the time. No, I don't think
yeah, so well, when we get to the museum, I'll show you those old pumps to go.
That took his life.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
This is a very interesting Civil War
Trend.
draftman too, and he yet was a Civil War veteran. And
Wow.
And that is amazing that he got the honor to be buried here amongst those other people, because I know in certain parts of Nevada history, everybody was pretty much separated, depending on your faith or your color or your race, or if you're a prostitute, or everybody was separated. You didn't get to be buried among the common folks, as they would say.
that caught my interest too. And in the obituary, it said he had the heart of a white man, and that wouldn't be politically correct now. But he evidently the article, it was a long article too, the obituary, that he helped out a lot of people here in Tonopah financially. If somebody was stuck could pay their recent bills or something, he'd help them out.
Wow.
There's graves there.
Oh, that's a pretty little grave.
Yeah, that's Dixie's that swallowed the pacifier.
Oh,
Oh,
And
this is hers.
going out to the old early days city dumps, you can pick up that sun-colored glass all over it. Being we don't have lawns here for our cemeteries, put desert landscaping on it.
absolutely.
Well,
That
that's
is
really pretty.
beautiful.
Because
He died of tonsillitis. Wow.
Wow.
I hope I spelled that right. Yeah. There'll be a lot more additions on here if I can find out, who's these unknown ones. Metal ones are original ones too, with the stone markers on them. But just tell us a little bit about it.
So it says died 1906, Tom Logan, Nye County Sheriff and a businessman, shot to death in front of a jewel saloon, Lower Main Street, Manhattan, Nevada. Is that what this says? Left Widowed and 8 children. Oh, wow.
And his great-great-granddaughter had these markers put in, and she has no qualms about how he was killed. Uh, he had a wife and several children uh, at a little ranch down in Smoky Valley, which is out here about 50, 60 miles. Manhattan is an old mining camp up in the mountain range there, overlooking the valley. And Tom, he was at the brothel there, and at night, and he had his bathrobe on. He's in a robe on in one of the back rooms, and the madam came up and said, "Well, we have a little bit of problems with someone here, and I want him to leave." And so Logan went out, just his robe on, and he started pushing the gentleman that was causing the problem out the door. And they wound out in front of the brothel, rolling around, fighting with it. And Logan did have a pistol with him. He put that around, had possession of that when this all happened. And he was pushing the guy out the door. And as they was rolling around, the fellow got a hold of that pistol and shot Logan, killed him. And they were going to form a lynch mob and all up there. But a long story short, they had trial and all for the fellow that shot Tom Logan, and he was innocent, self-defense.
Wow.
Because here comes a guy out with the robe on and start pushing him out, fight, rolling around with him. There was a pistol involved.
So he got away with murder.
Got away with it. And his great grandniece comes here and keeps it up. It's good shape. But Tom, he must have been 12 feet long by the length of his fence.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, got a little information what did him in. That's one of the grave markers the inmates from the conservation camp, when I had it down here as volunteers years ago, actually produced that out at the camp.
That's beautiful.
And they, like I say, they were good workers.
Wow.
Chinese population. And they had the Chinese population here in Tonopah had the conventional restaurants, laundries, and opium dens. And the locals got a little fed up with these opium dens the Chinese had along with the other businesses. And so they rebelled against the Chinese. And
Murdered in a riot. They were all older. So 70, 50, 40, 70, 30. Wow.
very unusual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were buried out at the partially covered up by that old mine dump. Up above it, you can see the fence, which is around the shaft. And after they were buried over there, I believe, is when the mine, the waste dump is just partially covering up the graves there. Very unusual. On the map, it shows 2 or 3 Caucasians buried over there with the Orientals. And but with the information available now is where I was able to
Wow.
I made that with the information on it.
Really phenomenal.
And the reason it's outside of the fence is after my brothers and I began the restoration of the cemetery, we got a grant for the fence. And so we could see the row of graves off here. We put the fence up where we thought all the grave sites were. Then later on, when that map was located and donated to us, see the graves were over there. Some
Right.
Orientals and then some Caucasians as well. And well, again, that's why these are fenced in, this whole area. That isn't.
Wow.
But I'm not too sure we could have afforded back then. These are Caucasians that are buried over there. he attempted to thaw out some frozen pieces of dynamite. And in the attempt to thaw them out by heating them up and having a fire by them, they exploded and
Ah, well, he went out with a bang.
went out with a bang. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Member, Western Federation of Miners, Andrews Anton Hofstad, 1866-1906, died at the Tonopah Extension Mine when he accidentally fell from the mine cage to the bottom of the shaft. And
By being hustled to the surface. Wow.
in this railroad rail was on there at the end of the line.
Oh, wow.
It was the end of the line for him.
Yeah.
He was taken to the other side by miners' consumption, meaning silicosis. That's what my dad what did him in silicosis. Breathing in too much dust out of mines, and I silica in it ate away all the lung tissue.
Oh my goodness.
Really a sad way to go. Dust in his lungs.
So, Philippine American War, William Clay Barnes, Corporal U.S. 9th Cavalry, died in July 14th, 1907. Tonopah Extension Mine accident. He was a Texas native. Campbell, employee and lived at the Big Casino and Dance Hall, Lower Main Street, Tonopah, died in her room August 4th, 1909. Wow.
She had a suicide pact with another lady that was in the same business she was in. And it was shortly after she died that there was an article about the death of the other lady. But no indication or nothing documented that if they sent her remains out or what. So it's quite a curiosity of what happened to the other lady that they planned on having a double. A very interesting story with this one, Dana F. Rault.
We've heard of that name.
Oh,
Yes.
you have?
Yes.
Yes. I did a lot of research in newspapers nationwide, and back in New York City, her and another lady were getting one after the other married to rich men, and rich men would pass on, and they would have the inheritance. But it's quite a story about her, and
Yes.
how she wound up in Tonopah, Nevada, is a mystery to me
Right.
and others. But she drank herself to death
Oh, wow.
here. But she had a very interesting life.
Leonard Black, age 11, died on March 21st, 1909, born in California, fell from freight wagon loaded with 3 tons of grain, was ran over. Oh my goodness.
Blair, Nevada. This lady, well, she lived at Blair, Nevada, which is 50 miles west of here. But 1906. Peritonitis. I guess that was a big killer, though, nationwide.
Oh, yeah.
Time.
Wow. One day after the birth of her first child.
Oh,
Wow.
Well, he was looking for greener pastures.
that's what it says.
Yeah.
What to check? Anna Blacklund died June 29th, 1908, after giving birth to twins. Twin son died 5 days after birth. Native of Sweden. Oh, wow. So they just came from everywhere. And a broken heart, yes. R.T. Blue, Russell J. Blue, died April 8th, 1910, pneumonia, born in Missouri. He was in the Spanish-American War.
Company M, Second
Second.
Nevada Cavalry.
Yeah. Wow.
Ellen, thank you very much for bringing us around and telling us these stories and for taking the time and doing this beautiful restoration.
Absolutely.